soil health is going to be at the heart of our approach to improving the environment through our 25-year environment plan and also our future agriculture policy. Because if we want to deliver for our environment, we have to promote improved soil health. Recently I had the chance to read a book, an old book actually, by Sir Albert Howard, who was one of the fathers of the organics movement in the UK. It was written in the late 1930s, a book called The Agricultural Testament. And in it he described some fascinating experiments that he ran in India to perfect the development of composting. He called it manufacturing compost, in order to improve soil health and soil fertility by increasing the amount of humus in the soil. What's fascinating reading the book is that some of the challenges we talk about today in the context of soil erosion, for instance, and soil health are not as new as we think. We often talk about modern farming as though it was something that developed in the 1970s. It's clear reading this book from the 1930s that these challenges were around then too. And what Sir Albert Howard recognised is that soil is not just about chemistry. It's not just, as he put it, NPK. Soil is a living ecosystem, and the fungi and the bacteria and the relationships, the mycorrhizal relationship between those fungi and bacteria and the roots of plants is absolutely central to the functioning of a fertile soil. And he also recognised that if you could get soil health right, you could improve water retention, you could reduce or eliminate the need for exogenous phosphate fertilizers, you could improve nitrate retention, reducing nitrogen leaching, you could improve the crumb structure of the soil, and overall fertility went up. I'm really keen that we learn some of the lessons that came from that groundbreaking work done by Sir Albert Howard all those years ago. And as we contemplate future agriculture policy, I've been saying that we ought to strive to achieve a fusion of some of that traditional farm husbandry, the type of farm husbandry and soil husbandry that my great-grandfather might have done, with some of the best modern genetic technology we have and modern technology when it comes to precision farming practices too. DEFRA therefore is about to open a funding bid, an R&D tender, to explore how we can learn lessons from the organic sector and some of these techniques that always survived on in the organic sector, and how we can actually transfer them to our wider approach to agricultural policy and our wider approach to soils. I know that many of you are practicing all of these things already. No one understands more than organic farmers the value of a fertile soil that's cared for. You recognise more than anyone else that the soil cannot be mined. It is something that must be cared for and nurtured, and if you nurture it properly, it will repay you. I hope you have a good conference. I know that you're going to have a very interesting discussion on climate change, and of course if we can get more carbon locked into our soils, that will also help, and if we can manage soils properly, we can probably reduce ammonia emissions as well by making sure rather than farmyard manure being treated as a waste, it is treated as a resource to be ploughed back into the soil. I hope you have an interesting conference, and I look forward to hearing reports of what you discuss and the conclusions that come from it.